Integra Type R 98スペックデビュー。
Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the Honda and Acura Integra Type R. So as most of you know, the Acura Integra Type R weighs in at around 2,600 pounds, somewhere around there. I think it's like 2,639 is the exact weight. I'm not 100% sure on that. A lot of people, I feel like, don't know the true weight of the JDM Honda Integra Type R, and I actually had to do some digging because at first I thought it was like a little under 26, and then I thought it was 25, and then I had to do some digging, and I found a brochure, all in Japanese, on the Honda Integra Type R on integratypeR.org, and it said that the Honda Integra Type R for the 96 spec was 1,060 kilograms, which is about 2,336 pounds for an Integra. That is not a lot of weight, given that it has more horsepower than its, counterpart. So 2,300 pounds, I don't even know if I could shave that off in my car. That is a lot of weight to shave. I think that's like an additional 300 or 400 pounds that I would have to shave. That is a substantial amount, and I'm not sure how they did it, but I'm pretty sure that this includes not a single bit of optional equipment. I'm pretty sure this is the bare car, so no radio, no clock, power steering, AC, ABS, nothing. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but I didn't think that it could get that low, because that, if you think about it, that's really low for a stock car. So next we have the front ends, but they actually do share a front end, and that was the 94 to 97 front end. And then eventually they kind of went their own separate way, and people in Japan didn't like that. We all know the 98 to 01 is the most common, and then in Japan it's just the standard JDM front end that everybody loves over there. So that's kind of where they differ as far as facelifts. And a little side note, the bumper reinforcements for the USDM model is a little beefier, so that's kind of why we have a different front end, because Japan's regulations are a little different than ours, so we need a bigger reinforced bar in the front, so that way if we get in a front end accident, we're good. So next we're going to move on to the wheels. The Acura only has 15-inch, whereas the Honda has 15 and 16. Now the 16 is only for the 98 spec, and the 15 is for the 96 spec. There's 3 different sets of wheels across the board for the Integra Type R, which was the first 96 spec, which was available for the JDM version and not for the US version. Here's a picture right here. And then there was the Acura Type R released in 97. Here's the wheels for that. And then there was the 98 spec for the Japan model. And if I had to pick one for my favorite, it would definitely have to be the 98 spec, because I just love those wheels so much, and I've always wanted to own a set, but they come in a different size. I believe Japan is 4x114.3 and we're 4x100, so I'm not going to be converting anytime soon, so maybe another day. Next, we're going to move on to the interior. Things get a little weird here. Some of it is up for debate and some of it is kind of factual, I guess you can say. The interior for the Japanese market was a lot better than ours, because we only got one set, an interior, whereas Japan pretty much got everything. They got Recaro seats for all of their Integras. They all got Recaro seats, whereas we never got Recaro seats over here. We got whack, LS seats, just reupholstered. Their Recaro seats came in black, red, and yellow, and not a lot of people know this, but the yellow was only available for the Type RX. Now, for the Honda Integra Type R, it actually didn't get a center console. It got like this center console delete thing. I have it in my car. I don't like the center console. It mounts right up to the US center console with ease. You just kind of slide it in and then just bolt it down, and it's pretty much good to go from there. Now, as far as wheels go, the wheels were actually different. So for the Honda Integra Type R, they got like a Momo style steering wheel, or I believe it was actually Momo that made the wheel for the Integra Type R. And it had an airbag, and it looked amazing. I think that wheel is a lot better than the one we got over here. Like I said, the Honda Integra Type R was so much better than the Acura, and go figure, the Acura is worth more because, less were sold. But that's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. For the Japanese market, they actually had carbon style trim for the air vents and for the center console. So a lot of people, and I see this a lot on even JDM importers, they will write 200 trim in it. And lastly, we move on to the engine, which I think is the most interesting because some people just didn't even know that there was a difference between these engines, and believe it or not, there really is. But it's not really, it was never really 200 horsepower. So PS is like another form of horsepower or brake horsepower, or I believe kilowatts, depending on where you are in the world. So really the B18C, if we were to convert that to horsepower, it'd be around like 197 horsepower. And the only game that I know of to accurately differentiate both engines was Forza 4. So if you go into Forza 4 right now, go to the Honda Integra Type R and you will see that it says 197, and then you can hop back over to the Acura Integra Type R in the game, it'll say 195. Now the reason why there's a difference in these horsepower figures is because the piston in the B18C actually had a larger piston, and I think it was shaped differently, and believe it or not, there's a different part number for it. So I think it's P7300, and the Acura model is P73AO. So that's why there's a bit of a compression bump. So that's why there's a bit of a compression bump in the B18C versus the B18C5. And lastly, we have the transmission. This is where I feel like the B18C shines, because the B18C5 transmission is just a little slower, and the B18C transmission in the Honda is just so much better. So for the 96 spec, I believe they had 4.4 final drive with LSD, and the 98 spec had 4.785 final drive with LSD. Alright, so that was the video. I hope you guys learned something new today. If you want more videos like this, please leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. So I will catch you guys in the next one.